Hello friend, it's Tonton. So today we are on the new account and I'm gonna make a quick guide for bear trap basically. So how do you handle bear trap, in the first generation? Your first few bear traps, if you are like me or if you started recently, you might be, playing the game for that 26 days. Actually, that's already a month. Come on, that goes quick. But the first 120, 150 days because you won't have enough troops to join all the rallies. And Alliance have a few options at that stage, basically mostly two. So I'm right here. Bear trap is happening right here. So I'm basically waiting to see who is online before I join some rallies because not all rallies are equal and some rallies will do far more damage. So for now we are waiting a bit. So while we are waiting, just to see, maybe I'm wasting one of the good rallies, but these players are decently strong, but they are not amazingly strong. So if someone else is joining, I'll join and kind of explain you the first strategy. So before, what do you want to do? If you are new to the game and you play bear trap, you can do your own rally, but there are two cases where you should do it, right? It's either because you are one of the stronger player, so you will help everyone do more damage on the events, or your rallies are full and you are a weaker player, but then every rally is full. Your alliance is lacking rallies, so you basically are starting doing some, right? So more player can join you, and you can even start a rally with one troop, so you just allow more people to join. So if I would start a rally now, because let's say let's do my strongest lineup, and I just want to help. I just want to contribute and see, how people, just do another rally. I could do with one troop or more troops or whatever. But you see, my rally cap is 400k. People are 452, and we have one or two players that are a lot higher, and I hope they will come online. If not, I'll join the other rallies, not to lag behind too much. But today is not showing you a perfect example. It's more going through the stage and things. So when you are joining a rally, before joining the right ones, you have to set formations, right? And in the game, you can set formations here. And you can see if you click on it, it's kind of loading up what you saved for. So for me, my first march is with Jesse. So this hero is the captain, because you see the little blue flag here. So that's the hero the captain for the heroes. For the hero, that means that when I join a rally, the first expedition skill of that hero, so that's Jesse, is potentially shared with the rally leader. And that skill is the first one, and you see that's why I have it level 4. It's a damage up. So when I join the rally with Jesse as the captain, there is a chance that my skill, it will be the first 4 heroes that join the rally. So when someone opens up a rally, you basically have the first 4 players joining the rally will be sharing their skills with the rally leader. So if it's for Jesse, it could be, and their skill are level 4, it's gonna be 80% damage more, or 100% damage more. So it does a lot more damage when you have the right hero. So when you are a rally joiner, you want to learn how to join right, and for the best hero is Jesse. The other one, which I don't have set up because I don't really use it, is Siyun. Siyun, that's her, and Jasser, basically. So Jesse, Jasser, Siyun, that's the 3 heroes you want to join a rally with at the beginning. They are the best one being Jesse. So you can preset marches, and when you preset your marches like you want, if you use the strategy I'm trying to use right now, is joining the best rally. So I'll try to basically join the best rally I can today, and I'll make my point that way. So I missed, so it's one of them, right? Probably one of them. So I meet them. The bigger player are not connected yet, so I'll join one of them. The next time they start a rally, basically. Let me see that one. Yeah, it's worst. So it's joining the best rally, and by joining the best rally, you will make the most point as an individual, right? If you think of yourself, you will make the most point by joining the best rallies, and we will try to get some example today. But if I go back from, can I get example from your previous bear, maybe? Yeah, you can see if I join the player that is called down, so I'm waiting for him, basically, I made 2.6 million damage in his rally. If I join someone else, I mean, maybe I had less troops, I don't remember, but you see everyone is making a lot less damage, right? We make in the 100k, and here everyone is making millions. So you can do 10 times, 5 times, 3 times more damage if you join the best rally. So as yourself, as an individual, what you care the most is trying to get into the best rallies. And for now, it seems to be people that are 4.5, and 400k and 50, right? So Walid is one of the decent, but he's as strong as me. So it's alpha, I'll wait for someone a bit stronger to join, because Don is not present. So let's join the best rally we can do today. So let's join this one, and let's see Walid, what we can do here. So I'm not using a preset setup. I mean, I could, but because it's changing every day, the amount of troops. So that's one thing. So you join the best rallies. That's the first strategy. You don't really have a strategy than an alliance. You join the best rally that are available that day. So you kind of need to know who are the stronger player. And often for rallies, what you care about is hero power, right? So people that are ranking higher in hero power. So you see Dan, you see Dawn for us. Wow, there are not so many of us anymore. Ninja, and this guy, they should be the best people to join, very, very likely. And you will join the rally and you look at the damage you do, and you can more or less basically test it. So that's the first strategy. Just join the best rally you can, and you send Jesse and all the troops to that best rally. Because if I join down with all my troops, I'm gonna make 3 million damage maybe today, because he probably improved his gear and everything. When if I join with half the troop, I'll make half the damage, and I'll make less damage per troop on another rally. So you will want to join the best rally with all your troops as much as you want. What do you start to do? So that's, when you start, you don't have enough to fill a march, right? Right now I have enough to fill a march. I can do more than one march. So what do you do in your setup? So you start to do, you see, I remove some lancers and I remove some infantry, and I basically, I should actually remove these lancers and put these ones, because these ones are better. So you will want what is doing damage in bear. The most unit that is doing the far most damage is actually marksmen. So you want as many marksmen as you can. Then you need some infantry and you need some lancers. So when you are very early like that, maybe you do 25% infantry. Maybe you could do something like that, right? 25% infantry, 25% lancers, 50. I can do 44 only. I don't have more. So, you basically remove a bit of infantry and lancers, and you do more marksmen. And lancers will do more damage than infantry, but you cannot have less than 20 or 25% infantry. Otherwise, somehow the game will consider you too weak and not tanky enough, and you will start to do less damage in the early days. For me, in my main city, I'm playing in Gen 8, and I can play with 10% only infantry. But you will be able to lower the amount of infantry you have as the game progresses, and as your troops are getting stronger, your rally data are getting stronger, you will be able to remove infantry and to put more marksmen, basically. So that's basically the first thing you need to understand. Join the best rallies, have your teams properly set up. So you want the strongest one with Jesse, and then the second one you want to set up is depending if you have Jasser or Siyun upgraded, and you will need to pick one of these and basically improve that skill. So for example, let's say my second team will be Jasser for me, so I'm gonna improve Jasser, so it gives 15% damage up as well. So when I join another rally with Jasser, it's basically boosting everybody else, right? Which is which will be very helpful. So that will be my two teams. And, at that stage of the game, I can basically only have two teams. That's just the way it is. I have 126k troops, so it's like 2 march and a half, more or less. And over time, you will be able to have 3 march, 4 march, 5 march, 5 march, 6 march, and up to 7 march for bear, because bear you can join 6. And the one you start, you see, is a special one. Is a special one, right? If you look at it, it's a special one. So for me, I could have 5 marches, even if I don't have the troops. And I'll talk about that as a second strategy, but that's more an alliance strategy. So that's your first strategy. You don't really have one, actually. You just let people play, and how you maximize, if there is no strategy put in place by your alliance, how you maximize your damage is you use, see, which hero people are using. These Natalia bad, Some of these are bad, right? And you don't always see the first hero, but you tend to see the first hero when they are coming back. So that's an easy way to kind of check what people are doing. So you want Jasser, you want JC, you want that kind of heroes in the rallies as much as possible to make the most damage. Why do you want to do that? That's a really important event. Bear is a really important event. It's because you see you have first a damage ranking and you have personal reward damage, and based on your damage you will get some things. And for us, we are kind of there, right? We are kind of that range. We don't really go up to 9 million damage yet, but we will soon be there. You know, and we can do easily 2.5, or, you know, like if Don was here, like one rally with him is 2.5 million damage for me, so I'll directly get here. Then you see I'll get some essence stones, some shards, some XP components, a lot of resources. So getting the best points for yourself is very important, because every time you do bear, which is every 48 hours, you will get good rewards, and that will really help you progress and not get stuck in terms of resources, basically, most likely. So let's join rallies again. So let's look at who is on, but not that many. So I'll join the same again. I'll just see who did the most damage. Okay, AIB was a good, decent rally. That's 600k, that's a decent rally, and this one seems to be lower for me, but I have a lot less troops, so that's fair enough. So I'm still okay with AIB. I still think that's the best rally we have today. So I'm gonna join that, and I'm gonna join whoever else. Well, let me join Hector to see. Maybe he's decent. So let's do that. And let's join Hector. So that's really simple. That's the first strategy. Non-strategy, if your alliance do not have any, join the best rally you can. And why am I being kicked out? Why am I being kicked out? Did he cancel his rally? Maybe he canceled his rally. Yeah, someone cancelled his rally, I think. So let me join someone else. Let me join this dude. So I have my tip messed up, right? Because I sent all my troops to the other rally because somehow one got cancelled, I think. I don't know. I didn't get the message, so I don't know what happened. But I could try to join Ninja next time. Maybe I'll try to join Ninja. You will join rallies and see which one are the best, and kind of keep track of people's progression, and you will identify the rallies. So that's the first. So I show you how to set up your march. I show you which rally to join, kind of, because we don't really have the best examples today, but that's the idea. Something you want to avoid when you start your own rally is it's gonna use, when you start rallies, it's gonna use expedition skill. So you will want heroes, because bear is an event that the bear is not fighting back. Again, like I said, you need some infantry to tank, because if you just send marksmen, it's not gonna work. The game do not allow you to just send marksmen, even if the bear is not doing damage to your units. But somehow you have to have tanky units. So you will want 25% infantry, 25% lancer. So that's gonna do a bit of damage, but very little, and that will be tanking. And then you take 50% marksmen when you start, so they do a lot of damage, for example. That's one way to think about it. For your heroes, you will want heroes that have offensive skill as much as possible. And you see, Sergei is good, but he has only defensive skill. Gina, she has no skills for bear. She doesn't do damage, she's not offensive and defensive. So Gina is very bad to do anything as a rally leader. She's very good to kill Polar Terror and Beast, because she reduced the cost of stamina. But beyond that, she's really bad for everything else. For fighting, she's really, really, really bad. That's the same of your blue heroes. For fighting, they are really bad because, they are basically just doing more income of resources. So when you do a rally, and that's your own rally on bear, you don't want to use blue heroes, and you don't want to use Gina. That's why if you see me, by default, Gina is the strongest hero for me, because she had the most star compared to Bahiti. She is easier to progress than any other hero in the game. She is the fastest, easiest hero to progress if you play well. So she will be the strongest on paper, but she does not have skill, and skills are doing a lot of damage. And if you look at Bahiti, it's reducing damage, and it's improving damage, right? All troops has 50% chance of increasing 30% damage. So Bahiti is boosting a lot of the damage. So it's a lot better to have Bahiti in your own rally than having Gina, because Gina does nothing and Baiti has 50% chance to boost 30% damage. And when you finish with Baiti, it's 50% damage. So you will want, for example, Sergei at the free-to-play, Baiti, because he's boosting damage. And then you need to have one of the Lancers, right? So if you look at Molly, she's doing stun. That's not doing anything for Bear. She's doing damage up as well, 50% chance of doing 30% damage. So similar to Baiti. And she's doing damage up by all troops. So Molly is really good. She has 2 skills. She does extra damage. So for your own rally, you can do Molly, because everyone will have her. Baiti, everyone will have him. And Sergei, everyone will have him, because you have no other choice for heroes. If you are Spender, then you can do Geronimo, because he has offensive skills. Damage up, right? He has 2 offensive skills, and he has a widget that augment damage as well. So Geronimo is amazing for rally leaders, but he's a spender hero, and he's a big spender hero. So if I start a rally, if you look at it, you can use more troops. I'll send my troops somewhere else to make points, but you can use more troops. And you see, I'm looking at my heroes. So I have Sergei, Molly, and then I want Baiti. And if you want to, you could technically save it. You could save it to your slot number 3, and then you can send it, so you don't have to change every time and it's faster. So that's kind of the first strategy reviewed. We will try to join Ninja's rally in a bit. As soon as these are coming back, let's hope we have some space. And then when we join Ninja's rally, I'll actually explain the strategy. But I think he's full now. Yeah, he's full. So we'll have to wait a bit to try it out. So that's most alliances, they start to do like that. No strategy, so you join the best rally, you think of yourself. And actually, there is another reason that I want to show you that's really important to join the best rally is slowly over time. Here at the top right, you have hunting achievements, and you get rewards for the amount of damage you do. So the first bear, you might be able to do some to unlock the 3, 4 first one, and then slowly you can unlock many other ones. So for me, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that was 8 times 50 million food or wood, for example, because that's 50 million food or wood that you get, or the equivalent in coal or iron, and that's a shit ton of resources. Forgive my language, but that's really a lot of resources, and that's a new addition to the game. That was added a few months ago. We used not to have that. So when you start the game, that's really important to get these extra resources. So for me, if Don was here today, because I make 2.5 million per rally, and I could join up to 6 of his rallies, I could hope to get there if it was a perfect event. And he does 6 rallies because he's always online, and I can join his 6 rallies. I can hope to get another 50 million resources. And that will be really, really, really amazing if that was an option. So just let me join a good rally now, and then we go to the next strategy that you can use. And that's more an alliance strategy when you are trying to share reward and share loots. But something somehow today is not available. So we joined that dude again. He has a good rally. I'm not sure why he cancelled earlier, but or he removed me. I don't know what happened. So let me save it, because somehow that was broken. And you see he has Gina. So that's terrible. So that dude is doing a lot of damage, and I'm actually joining a rally with Gina, which is terrible. So I actually said we're gonna join Ninja. So whatever, I guess. So that dude will do far more damage. So with Angelgal, if you watch, basically, you could do a lot more damage. So let's join Ninja if it's possible in a sec, and then we'll talk about the other strategy that people tend to use at the beginning. There are, later in the game, there are different strategy you can do for bear and more advanced strategy, but this is really for beginners. If you like your first few bears, you're gonna be able to do that for months. Then I suggest you check my other bear guide. You see it's a 30 minutes events. Rally are taking basically 5 minutes to do. So you can basically count on 5 waves of rallies, because it takes, sometimes in between rallies. So safely you can count on 5 waves that you can technically do 6 waves. Sorry, that's doable as well. But people are not starting rallies anymore. So you see, like, sometimes people are kind of playing for a bit and stopping. So we will join We will join someone's rally that is decent, so Walid is a decent rally. So the other and Ninja just started, so we'll see later. The other strategy that your alliance must ask you to do is to some alliance might ask you to fill top to bottom, so you don't pick the best rallies, you just fill the current rallies, but you don't fill them with all your troops. So you're not gonna use 1 or 2 marches at the beginning, or maybe 3 in a couple of weeks. You're gonna use all of your marches, and you can basically equalize. So when you join a rally or when you do something in the game, and I cannot really show you because I don't really have anything, but we will show you here. So in the squads, if you have a hero, like you have a setup, like because I have 4 marches, and if I have 5 it will be different, and 6 it will be different, but if I had 3 marches it will do something different. But you can see it's roughly a quarter of, it's not roughly, it's precisely a quarter, right? So that's the total amount of troops I have, which for me, is 100k 20 something, so that's 31.5, right? That if you look again, troops, that the amount of troops I have, 126k. So if I look at equalized, it will divide the amount of troops I have by the amount of marches I have. So it's gonna give me 4 marches with 32k troops. So what you will do here is like you will do one with Jesse, for example, so you'll save it. So one with Jesse, you will do one with Jasser, and because you see like Jasser alone is like, if you add heroes, it's basically allowing you to add more troops to the march. So, but for me, in my case, I need 31.5k, and these 2 heroes allowed me to get 81, so I don't need to add 3 heroes. Like the extra heroes, the captain is here with the blue thing, right? But the extra heroes just allow you for more capacity. It does not change anything when you are joining a rally or a garrison. When you are making your own rallies, it's changing everything, right? But when you are joining, it does not matter. So I will do 1 march with Jesse and a quarter of the troops, another march, then I'll use Siyung, because she's the other best one. So I'll do a quarter again and I'll save. And the last march, depending on what your alliance is allowing, I will either use no heroes, so I'll just remove heroes, I'll just do equalize and I'll save again. So, or I'll use 1 hero that is tolerated, so it could be Dinman, because if you look at Dinman, it's not really good, but Dinman is slowly buffing damage, right? I know it's defense up and health up, so it does not even buff damage, so you can forget Dinman. So it will be better just to do Badikali. Let me see if I can squeeze into Walid is back. Let me wait for. Is it my full march? So you kind of need to keep track of what you have, right? So that's not my full march, that's my second march. So I can send it to another rally and I'll keep the other one for Ninja to see the difference of the two, but it might be too late. He might not be able to do a rally actually. Fair enough. So that will be the other strategy. Then if I use the other strategy, I'll basically either the alliance allows me to choose whichever rally I join. So I'll still try to use Jesse on the best rally. So if Don was here, I'll use Jesse on Don. Then I'll use Jesser and Siyung on the best rallies I can. And then the 4th rally is without any heroes. So this one. So you remember, if we look here, you have one with Jesse. So I'll try to get Jesse in the best rally because Jesse will boost the damage the most, so you want her in the best rally. That's very simple. Then the same with Jasser and Siyung, right? You want them in the best rallies possible, and then if you join a rally that's not that good and average, and I'll use the last march, so I'll do less damage, but overall the rally will do less damage because it's not as good as well. So you will want to do it that way, and it still means you could, and that will work if you do not start a rally, right? If you start a rally, you will have to remove some troops from this setup to keep some troops for yourself, because this setup is gonna burn all your troops because it's 50%, or you don't use the last rally and you start it yourself, for example. That will be an option, right? But you will need to save some troops. That's only if you are a rally joiner and you do not start your own rally, which is okay at the beginning. Later in the game for Bear Trap, everyone will have to start a rally, but that's when everyone has more troops. At some point, you will get a lot of troops, and you will actually be good at everyone start a rally because simply you will, when I have 6 marches and I can fill 6 marches, like the rallies will be full. Like I can start one rally and I can join 6. So even if you can have many people per rally, you see that there is a problem, right? Rallies at some point will be full because I can start one and I can join 6. So when you have enough troops, that will cause issues. So everyone will start a rally to multiply the damage you do, and then that's why some alliances have like more advanced strategy, and that will be covered in another video later. But that's kind of the basics, right? You either join the best rally if your alliance have no rules and you are selfish, and that's okay. What I would suggest to do is to keep in mind that, for example, if you let's say that I know, because I've been doing bear for a while, that I can do 3.9 million easily, but I cannot get close to 9 million. Then for me, what I will do, right? I'll stay around 3.9. There is no point in keeping joining rallies because I'm not gonna get more by doing 6 million or 7 million. I'm not gonna get more reward. I'm in that bracket of rewards and I'll get that many rewards anyway, right? Except for what we've just seen sooner is the hunting achievement. So for example, I could be in the 3.9 to 7.9 million bracket, still not be able to go to the, no, it's actually 8.9. So it's 3.9 to 8.9 million damage bracket. So I could still be in that bracket every 2 days and not be able to go above, but then maybe because I'm joining some good rallies, or we had all of Chief and people improve their gear, maybe today I can do 5 million, right? I will go above 5 million, but then I'll just start my rallies to help other make points with my rallies. I'll stop joining rallies because I cannot get to 7.7. I'm not strong enough. The alliance is not strong enough to get to 7.5. So every point I'm taking is some points I'm taking away from my teammates, so they make more damage and they as well unlock that. So whenever you do bear trap, and that will be a lot more important later, it's important to keep in mind, like, do not steal points for your teammate when you cannot get more rewards. And you can see the personal damage bracket, and over time, after a few months, you will clearly know, because the first few months you're gonna improve quickly. You're gonna go from these early brackets to these, and at some point, probably somewhere here, it will start to slow down a lot, because it's a massive difference between 9 million damage to 20.5. That's a massive jump, and it will take time for your alliance to be able to go there. So if you see you are stuck at 8.9, then maybe you do your 8.9 every time if you can, and then sometime you push to 10, or you push to 15 if you can, and you unlock that basically, and you unlock this, and then you keep your damage low to the threshold you want to do, and that's easy. So for example, for me right now on my main state, like I can get easily to, let me just show you. We are more advanced, of course, because we are a bit better in the game, a bit further in the game. So we are here, right? So that's where kind of, are they this one, right? We are not at the bottom one. We are here. So for me, like, I can make easily 2.4 now. It's taking me two wave of rallies, maybe 3 out of 5 or 6. So I can secure that. If we have good rally leaders, I can easily get to 4.8. But I just do 4.8 as much as I can. If I can do 5 billion, I do 5 billion. And when I reach that, I just keep rallies because I'm a solid player, so my rally do decent damage. So I keep rallying, so other player can make more damage overall. So you want to think, you want to think of yourself and your own progression, but you also want to think for the team, and do not take damage that are not needed. So that's kind of a basic bear trap. I kind of explain to you how to set up your marches, what are kind of the most common 2 strategies that you will see at that time, and if your rally leaders and your alliance is asking you to split your troop, that's how you do it. You go here, you do in squads, and you do equalize, or you do it manually yourself. You are counting, you are dividing that by the amount of marches you need. That's for. And keep in mind that when you equalize, it's the amount of marches you have. So for me, it's 4, right? But for bear and a few other events, but it's very limited, you have an extra queue that is a special queue, so you have 5. So you will need, if you want to have your own rallies, you will need to divide by 5 the amount of troops you have and set that up manually. I'm not suggesting you stress too much in the early days, because that's going to be a lot of work for little improvement, because it's gonna change a lot the amount of troops. So that's why I suggest you go with join the best rallies. When you start, that the easiest solution, because it's gonna improve a lot. And then when you start to have 2 or 3 marches and you are doing decent damage, you can start to optimize a bit with what we've seen, like splitting troops and things like that. But again, it depends on what your alliance is asking. So that's all for me, guys. I hope it was helpful. Let me know in the comment. Please subscribe to the channel and see you in the next one. Bye bye.